Well, a fast food employee is dead after being shot at work in South LA. He was killed at the Taco Bell at Avalon and Century Boulevards, and that's where we find KCAL9's Joy Benedict live with the latest for us. And Joy, this is just heartbreaking to hear that someone was just doing their job when they were shot and killed.
Absolutely, Amy. I mean, it's distressing. It's heartbreaking. There aren't enough words to describe just how horrible this is for this man, his family, and of course, anybody who was working here at this Taco Bell last night. But that's exactly what happened. We are told a Taco Bell employee lost his life simply doing his job. It happened here at this Taco Bell behind me in South Los Angeles. You can see over to the left-hand side that drive-through window is all shot up. We are told that is where someone in the drive-through simply opened fire inside, killing the 41-year-old worker. Take a look at this video from last night. It all happened at about 11 p.m. That's when investigators say someone had come through the drive-thru. They placed an order. When they pulled up to the window, investigators say that individual in the vehicle attempted to hand that employee some sort of a counterfeit bill.
Okay, so there we have it. Now, I recall maybe a year and a half ago, there was an incident involving the counterfeit bill. I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, we'll just call him Saint Fenty. Okay, so Saint Fenty was using a counterfeit bill. And a piece that the mainstream media didn't report about that case was that St. Fenty used the counterfeit bill. The cashier, just like any cashier, when I worked at places, they had us. They had us in a room. We did not a seminar, but I forgot what they call it, where they just bring everybody in and they, alert you to, a PowerPoint like presentation was done about counterfeit bills. Anyway, so all the cashiers know what a counterfeit bill looks like. And if you take one, it's not the customers that punish, it's you that's punished. So it comes out of your check. You know what I mean? It's not like if your drawer's short because of a counterfeit bill, because they done told you everything and what to look for, it's on you. You're the one that's going to be punished for it, however mildly or severely. So anyway, all cashiers know what a counterfeit bill looks like. This guy, St. Fenty, I think it was in Minneapolis, he came into a corner store, used it one time on one cashier, didn't work. Came back in about 10 minutes later, used it on another cashier in the same store. It didn't work. He then threatened that cashier. So by threatening that cashier, it made that cashier feel, oh, I'm in danger. So that cashier called the police. He alerted the manager, and the manager called the police. I think it was the owner, maybe, but whoever was in charge, he alerted him, and that person called the police because there were threats made to the cashier. Now, do you guys who was so upset, why the police got to be involved in every little thing? It's just $20, man. $20 ain't nothing, man. You can't counterfeit bill people. He didn't even know it was a counterfeit bill. He Listen. Listen, man. When St. Fenty threatened that cashier knew to take that seriously. He called the police. And somebody died in that incident too. But I wish this guy would have just called the police. And I know in a lot of these neighborhoods, somebody hand you a fake bill, you don't want to call the police because then you snitch and then they'll come back up to your job, whatever. But I wish he wouldn't got the manager. Then the manager would have got shot. But I mean, I don't know. But I wish there was something that this guy here in this situation here in South LA, this father who was killed so violently, I wish there was something he could have done differently. I haven't thought of it yet, but because for some reason, if we saw with the St. Fenty incident in Minneapolis and this incident, when you reject people for having counterfeit bills, they become very incensed. And I'm sure that there were threats in both cases. This one just went a little further.
Take a look at this video from last night. It all happened at about 11 p.m. That's when investigators say someone had come through the drive-thru. They placed an order. When they pulled up to the window, investigators say that individual in the vehicle attempted to hand that employee some sort of a counterfeit bill. The employee refused to take it and then declined them service. And that is when we are told that individual pulled out a gun and fired numerous shots through the window of the drive-thru of the Taco Bell and unfortunately shot and killed that worker inside. We don't have a lot of information about the man who died here. We just know that he was 41 years old. He worked here at this Taco Bell and he was working that drive-thru window last night when all of this took place. As for who the shooter is, well, that remains under investigation. Right now, investigators are not releasing a lot of information about exactly who they are looking for, but of course there are many security cameras out here, so hopefully that will lead to exactly who this person is. Take a look at the out here live. You can see there are 2 security cameras out here looking at the drive-thru. It's not clear if they were working. It's not clear if investigators will have a clear picture of who that suspect is, but they are hoping that someone comes forward who may have seen them. Maybe there were witnesses. Maybe you've heard something since. If that person is you, you are urged to contact the Los Angeles Police Department. It is South Bureau Homicide that is handling this case. And of course, you can always call Crime Stoppers and leave a tip anonymously at 1-800-222-TIMPS. But Amy, just such a very sad story out here from South Los Angeles this morning, as we have learned this employee of this Taco Bell died just simply doing his job.
So sad. Thank you so much, Joy.
Evening. Family has identified the victim as 41-year-old Alejandro Garcia. They say that he was a family man, a father of 3, and a hard worker. He worked at the Taco Bell one night out of the week to provide for his family, and now his family is mourning his death.
Working guy, man. So this is one of his many jobs. Brother can't find a job. I can't find a job, man. They won't hire me, man, because color my skin, man.
Taco Bell one night out of the week to provide for his family, and now his family is mourning his death.
He was a hardworking man, a family man, and for him just to die. Just horrible.
Horrible and inconceivable. Nancy Del Sol's cousin, 41-year-old Alejandro Garcia, was shot and killed on the job at a Taco Bell Saturday night in South LA. He was working the evening shift alongside his 19-year-old son.
The way that he died in front of his son, it was really traumatic experience for my nephew.
Police say Garcia was working the drive-thru window at the Taco Bell on Avalon and Century Boulevards when a man approached the window and tried paying for his food with a counterfeit bill.
When he didn't want to take the bill and he didn't want to pay any service, I guess they got upset and they started shooting. And
Del Sol says her nephew tried to intervene.
My nephew was close by, so he closed the window, but the shots, they went in and he got shot on the heart, and that's what killed him, and he died there in front of his son's presence. And
police say they don't yet have a solid suspect description, and the killer hasn't been caught, worrying some of Garcia's co-workers who don't want to be identified.
And then you got us, looking over our backs, and now it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just really hurt.
That means the sister Jack. Son woman.
And you got us, looking over our backs, and now it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just really hurt.
This co-worker was supposed to work the evening shift Saturday, but she ended up working the morning shift instead.
I would have got shot too, and I just thank God, but it's still not right. It's still not right taking somebody's life over something that wasn't necessary.
She ain't waste no time making that about her. I'm looking over my shoulders. I'm in danger. It could have been me. I would have got shit. She ain't waste no time making this about.
And then you got us, looking over our backs, and now it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just really hurt.
This co-worker was supposed to work the evening shift Saturday, but she ended up working the morning shift instead.
I would have got shot too, and I just thank God, but it's still not right. You know, it's still not right taking somebody's life over something that wasn't necessary.
Alejandro Garcia, brutally killed over a counterfeit bill, leaving his family broken and desperate for justice.
I want the police to find the killers. We're not going to stop until we find the killers.
Another victim was found inside of the Taco Bell with stab wounds. The suspect in that case has not been arrested either, and it's unclear if those two cases are connected. But of course, if you have
Taco Bell, try Taco Hell. Jeez.
Another victim was found inside of the Taco Bell with stab wounds. The suspect in that case has not been arrested either, and it's unclear if those two cases are connected. But of course, if you have any information about the shooting or the stabbing at the Taco Bell, you're asked to call police. Reporting live this evening, I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News. Good evening. The family is understandably shaken and broken following this devastating loss. And while they know nothing will bring their loved one back, they are relieved that an arrest has been made in this case, according to LAPD Chief Michael Moore.
Heavenly Father, bless this family.
An emotional vigil at the Taco Bell in South LA.
Our family's suffering.
With family, community members, and law enforcement grieving the loss of Alejandro Garcia, a loving father of three, shot and killed by a man at the drive-thru window over a counterfeit $20 bill.
And it's not fair that this happened to him. And we're just heartbroken.
Alejandro was working with his 19-year-old son, Carlos Garcia, when he was shot over the fake bill.
Era el único día que lo abracé.
Carlos, inconsolable, reliving the devastating day his father died in his arms.
Have you have a father that's still here to tell them that you love them and that to hug them? Because my dad, I never told him anything. The day that happened, that was the only hug I ever gave him.
Wow, that's touching, man. That is touching, man. So it seems like him and his father had more like a, relationship like, tough love and stuff like that. And, you work hard and be working all the time. Dad probably working, he working, he Taco Bell one day a week, right? Doing a bunch of other jobs. That's terrible, man.
Have you have a father that's still here to tell them that you love them and that to hug them? Because my dad, I never told him anything. The day that happened, that was the only hug I ever gave him.
Carlos says his father was a dedicated man, working hard to provide everything for his family.
He put our family first for everything.
Chief Michael Moore, who also attended the vigil, announced an arrest in the case.
Our ability to investigate this crime has allowed us to identify who we believe is responsible for him. That person's in jail with a $2 million bail for murder.
The family says the arrest won't bring back
He's in jail on a $2 million bond, but we can't get a picture for this other suspect. And I'm telling you, this has to do with that thing that they did a few years ago, that law that they passed, or prohibition or whatever, amendment or mandate or provision, whatever you want to call it, where they're not showing suspects mugshots because it disproportionately affects you know who, and basically it's racist to show a mugshot because that person hasn't been convicted yet, and it messes up and it makes people, it feeds into stereotypes. So we won't get us, since the news media didn't catch catch them arresting the guy, or the news media didn't see the incident and the guy wasn't arrested on the scene, we won't get anything out here. This is California stuff. You know, they're trying to make things fair for everybody. So we may not get a picture of this guy until he's arraigned. So I'll leave it up to you guys who you think did this.
The family says the arrest won't bring back Alejandro, and they want the person who shot and killed him to know who they took and how much Alejandro meant to the family.
He had to take someone that I really love and I consider my best friend. He wasn't just a father, he was my best friend too.
As for the arrest, Chief Moore says they are not yet releasing the identity of the suspect, but the family says they have seen an outpouring of love and support from the community and that they are so grateful. And if you'd like to help them, we have a link to their GoFundMe page on our website, foxla.com. Reporting live this evening, I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.